Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Sarah.
And I'm Nate, and you're watching SaraNate. Today we are ranking Disney mothers. Or moms.
Mamas.
With Mother's Day right around the corner, what better time to release this video, Sarah?
Where would our favorite Disney heroes and heroines be without their mothers, guys? They wouldn't be born, is what?
We are ranking the mothers based on how good at parenting they are.
How supportive they are, how iconic they are.
And would we want them to be our mothers? This list is going to be Disney animated feature films only.
No sequels, no Pixar.
We will be revealing key plot points during our ranking, so spoiler alert. This is just our opinions. It's not set in stone, anything like that.
You guys know what they say about opinions.
What do they say?
They're like another part of the body that we all have, and so do our moms.
Oh, so like their brain or heart?
No, something a little more southern to those parts.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SaraNate and hit that bell button.
Bing!
So you never miss a new episode. Let's get this started with the evil queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. So the evil queen is Snow White's stepmother.
So Grimhilda is obsessed with being the fairest of them all. She's always asking her mirror that. And she puts Snow White to servant work, basically, making her dress in ugly rags and cleaning the floors and doing all that mess.
I can only imagine what Grimhilda would be like with social media and like filters.
Oh, ew. She would be getting
clear face.
The like fillers on her lips that are way too big.
Eventually, the mirror tells Grimhilda that she is not the most fair one in the land, and in fact, it's her stepdaughter, Snow White.
So nasty little Grimhilda tells her huntsman that he needs to take Snow White out into the forest and kill her because this psycho wants to be the fairest of them all.
And then the huntsman, of course, doesn't have the heart to do it, so he takes a pig's heart, presents it to the evil queen. She goes off on transformation land.
It just goes to show how crazy she is that she becomes an old hag just so that she can kill Snow White herself.
And it's like, yo, you're the queen of a land. You could just be bawling out. Snow White ran away for all you could care. But like, you still have to chase her into the forest. As far as the mothering list goes, I'd probably give her an F. I mean, she's trying to kill her.
She's trying to kill her stepdaughter and she's jealous and gross.
Next up, we have Mrs. Jumbo from
Dumbo.
We first meet Mrs. Jumbo when the stork delivers little baby Dumbo to her in the beginning of the film.
At first, all of the other elephants are like, saying, oh, he's so cute, what a pretty baby.
Show us to him.
He sneezes and his big ears pop out, and then everyone starts making fun of him.
When they're at the circus, a group of young boys come up to Dumbo, start poking him, pulling his tail, and making fun of him.
And one of the boys enters the pen when he's not supposed to, continuing to tease him. Mrs. Jumbo sees this and isn't having it, so she basically starts spanking him with her trunk. And
which, if you think about that, would kill a person because the elephant strengths are insane.
Especially a little boy.
Happy Mother's Day. The ringmaster and the other workers of the circus see this and consider her mad and crazy, and then they go and lock her up. Timothy Q. Mouse brings Dumbo to the little jail cell that they locked this poor little elephant up into.
Well, she's not little. She's like tons of pounds.
She's Mrs. Jumbo.
And then you have that really cute, iconic, sweet scene where they're singing Baby Mine, and Mrs. Jumbo's trunk is like going out of the bars and like cradling Dumbo.
The only thing I think she has going against her is she's not very iconic. I give her like a high B+.
I agree with that.
Next up, we have Bambi's mom from Bambi. We first see Bambi's mom when she pops out little Bambi from her little area.
Stop! We don't see the birth. We just see her
like
cuddling
caressing
with him.
him or whatever. She's teaching Bambi all the ways of the forest, how to fend for yourself, what to do, what not to do. Oh shoot, there's a hunter.
Yeah, the dangers of man. And one day, Bambi and his mom are grazing in the meadow, and then she perks up because she can sense that there's danger afoot. And then she tells Bambi to run because man is there, and then we hear a whole bunch of gunshots as they're running.
Bambi's mother is shot and killed.
and he stumbles upon the great prince, who then tells him, your mother can't be with you anymore.
It's the boys' time.
Oh.
She not only protects and loves her child, she also teaches him, which is one thing we haven't seen from the first two mothers. I would give Bambi's mom an A.
I agree.
Next up, we have Lady Tremaine from Cinderella.
Lady Tremaine with her two nasty stepdaughters, Drizella and Anastasia, move into the house,
enslave Cinderella,
make her sleep up in the small room in the tower, make her do all of the chores.
Do the dishes, do the laundry. Prince Charming is holding this grand ball. Lady Tremaine tells Cinderella she can go to the ball once she finishes all her chores.
And if she can find something suitable to wear, which then the mice and the birds and her animal friends make the beautiful pink dress.
The stepsisters tear apart Cinderella's dress. Lady Tremaine the whole time orchestrating the entire plot. Cinderella thinks it's all over. The fairy mother's like bippity boppity boo.
Lady Tremaine figures out that Cinderella was the beautiful girl at the ball that Prince Charming fell in love with. So she locks Cinderella away up in the tower and then pockets the key and plans to make Drizella or Anastasia seem like their big old feet fit in the glass.
Oh, try again. Cinderella breaks out of the room and the glass slipper fits. The look on Tremaine's face is just so
gratifying.
Would I want her as my mother? Hard no. She's an F.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Mary Darling from Peter Pan. I don't know why we're talking like this.
Because they were in London, I think.
So Mary Darling is the mother of Wendy, John, and Michael.
She's a good foil to her husband, George, who hates the kids playing pretend. He tells them that they need to grow up.
George and the dog Nana end up like in this little situation. George trips over Nana. They both fall. The family goes to console Nana. Instead of George.
Poor Nana.
George, being spiteful of the dog, puts her outside and ties her up.
And then you've got Mary kind of coming to the rescue of the kids and reassuring them Nana's going to be fine. She's doing her caring, supportive, motherly things.
She kind of rubs off on Wendy as Wendy goes to Neverland because Wendy starts to take on traits of being a mom.
Taking care of her brothers and all of the other lost boys too.
That wouldn't happen if Wendy didn't have a good mother. That being said, we just don't see her that much and she's not iconic at all.
No.
I give her a C.
I agree.
Next up, we have Perdita, aka Purdy, from 101 Dalmatians. Purdy becomes pregnant and she begins to grow concerned because she overhears Cruella de Vil's plot to have some furs up in this
mother.
Purdy ends up giving birth to 15 puppies. Hot damn.
And so we see Purdy being a really wonderful mother. She's watching TV with her kids. She's scolding Patch for having a dirty mouth. Like, where did you hear that language? And then they look over at Pongo and it's like, oh, the dad.
So you're saying being a good mom is just watching TV and yelling at your kids?
No, I'm not done.
So when the puppies are inevitably kidnapped, Pongo and Purdy go on this huge cross-country adventure to save their children.
And Purdy throws down when they first break into that house Jasper and Horace are in, because her and Pongo start fighting them basically to break the puppies out.
They're going through the countryside in the snow and it's like this mystery, and they're avoiding Horace and Jasper and Cruella. The length that Purdy went to save her children, you can't understate that. I give her like a B+.
Agreed.
Next up, we have Dutchess from the Aristocats.
So Dutchess is the mom of Marie, Toulouse, and Berlioz, and they live with their owner, Madame Adelaide. So Dutchess, we can tell right off the bat, is this elegant, caring, like lovely mother.
So she's an Aristocat. That includes also teaching her kids to be very creative, artistically, musically.
Manners.
Madame Adelaide meets her friend George to write her will because she's about to croak. She puts in there that she wants to give all her money and assets to Dutchess and the cats. Edgar overhears Adelaide's plan. He's like, oh, hell no. And then he kidnaps them and puts them into the French countryside.
Dutchess is very nurturing and reassuring to the kittens that they're going to be okay.
They meet Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat, the next morning, and he helps them traverse back to Paris.
Louis.
Along the way, they meet lots of colorful characters. The geese.
Drunk Uncle Waldo or whatever. And Dutchess is so gracious to everybody she meets.
Dutchess and O'Malley form a little attraction. And form a family. She's supportive, she teaches, she's nurturing. I would give Dutchess an A.
I agree with that.
Next up, we have Sarabi from The Lion King. Sarabi!
What?
Sarabi is Mufasa's wife and the mother of Simba.
We first see her in that iconic opening scene. She's kind of cradling Simba, licking him clean. She's right by Mufasa when Rafiki does the thing.
She also has that motherly instinct of sniffing out her child's BS. Like when they go to the watering hole.
And she's all like, you can go to the watering hole if Zazu goes along.
After the Pride Lands have been taken over by Scar.
You have that iconic scene where she tells him off like, oh, if Mufasa were the king, this wouldn't have happened. And then he slaps her and is like, I'm 10 times the king Mufasa was.
She then throws down at the Battle of Pride Rock when her boy Simba really dishes the truth about what the F went down. She's caring, she's loving, she's funny.
She's loyal.
I give Sarabi an A.
I agree.
Next up, we have Kala from Tarzan.
Her and Kerchak actually have a gorilla son who's killed by Sabor, leaving Kala devastated. And one day she hears a baby crying, so she goes to investigate in this treehouse and finds little baby Tarzan.
And she becomes his adoptive mother.
Kerchak and some of the other gorillas kind of reject baby Tarzan because he's a human, and Kerchak is like, he'll never replace the son we lost.
Kala doesn't see that. She's like, yo, I see my son.
Like she does that whole thing of like, you feel this? This is my heart, and you have one too, and that's what matters.
Eventually, Tarzan brings Clayton and the humans to the gorilla's whereabouts. Kerchak berates Tarzan, and he's like, dude, what's wrong with you?
This is when Kala shows him the picture of his true mother and father, and she's super supportive of him here because Tarzan kind of wants to go back with Jane and her father. Kala has that really sweet scene where she tells him that she's gonna love him wherever he goes.
Supportive, believes in her son when no one else around him believes in him. Love to have her as my mother. I think I would give her an S, Sarah.
I would too.
Next up, we have Sarah Hawkins from Treasure Planet. We first see her in the very opening scene where a young Jim is up past his bedtime reading pirate tales of Captain Flynn. And she comes in the door and she's all like, Jim, why are you up? It's about an hour past your bedtime.
Except I don't believe she has a southern accent. And 12 years later, Jim gets caught by the RoboCops when he's solar surfing, and they bring him back to the inn.
And she's just like, Jim, what are you doing with your life? You're ruining it.
She greets Jim and is hugging him at the spaceport, and then they reopen the
Ben Bao Inn. Fun fact for you, Sarah Hawkins' voice actor is also the voice of Andy's mother from Toy Story. So she's double dipping in different universes, Sarah.
Wow, as a mother. Mama.
She cares for Jim a lot. That's why she's so hard on him, and she sees his potential.
Which is what you want in a parent.
And on top of that, she's a small business owner doing everything she can to support her family. She's not super iconic, but I think she's a great mother. I'd give Sarah Hawkins a high A.
I agree.
Next up, we have Eudora from The Princess and the Frog.
We first see her at the beginning of the movie telling young Tiana and Charlotte the tale of the Frog Prince. Eudora and James are tucking Tiana in bed at night, and Eudora tells Tiana, keep wishing on that evening star to open up that restaurant, while James reminds Tiana that she can wish on the star, but she's also got to work hard.
Put in that work.
Put in the twerk, Tiana. Tiana's father passed away, and her mom is still very supportive of Tiana's dreams and gives her her father's gumbo pot as a gift when they find the empty sugar mill that they want to open as a restaurant. Eudora also has a talk with Tiana, expressing her concerns that Tiana is overworking herself and working too hard. And she reminds Tiana that even though her father didn't achieve that dream of opening a restaurant, he still had everything that he needed in his family.
Eudora is there at the end of the movie when Tiana and Naveen are married, and she's there at the opening of Tiana's Place restaurant. She's realistic, but she also wants her daughter to achieve her goals no matter how big they are. I would want her as my mother.
Absolutely.
I think I'd give her like an A+.
I was thinking S.
Let's give her an S. Next up, we have Mother Gothel from Tangled. Mother Gothel is Rapunzel's manipulative fake mother. She kidnaps her in the beginning because Rapunzel's hair has the restorative powers of that flower, which she's been using to
keep herself young forever. And Gothel tells Rapunzel that the reason she's kept away in the tower is because all these ruffians
thugs
are gonna be after her for her hair, when really Mother Gothel is the one keeping her there for her hair.
Eventually, Eugene and Rapunzel break out of the tower. Gothel catches wind of this. She employs Flynn Rider's ex-cronies, the Stabbington brothers, to help her capture Flynn Rider and manipulate Rapunzel
into thinking that Flynn Rider really did only want the crown, when really they tied him up to the steering wheel of the boat.
Rapunzel sees Flynn Rider's silhouette floating out into the abyss.
Rapunzel figures out that she is actually the lost princess. She calls Mother Gothel out on her BS for 16 years. Then Mother Gothel finally flips the switch, shows her true colors.
I would never want her as my mother ever. I have to give her the highest of Fs.
Yep.
Oh, did I say the highest? I meant the lowest. If you think about
there we
it.
go, yeah.
Next up, we have Queen Iduna from Frozen. We first see Queen Iduna when Elsa accidentally strikes Anna with some little frozen magic.
Oops.
Iduna and the king are very concerned, and they're like, yo, let's bring Elsa to these magical trolls.
They agree to have the trolls wipe Anna's memory.
Some great parenting. Wipe my kid's memory.
On top of deciding to separate the two, lock Elsa away.
Yeah. Instead of trying to cope with this magical powers and like integrate her into society, they're like, yo, no.
Close the gates.
And that's pretty much all we see of Queen Iduna, Sarah.
Before they get into the shipwreck, adios amigos.
Could have used Elsa's help to like do some
freeze
magic.
The ocean and stop the torrential waves.
I don't know if you do that with like salt water.
Maybe it was a freshwater ocean.
Ew! I would give Iduna a D.
I agree.
Next up, we have Cena from Moana.
And we're not talking about John Cena either.
I would hope not. Cena really encourages Moana in the beginning of the movie to take part in their island culture.
And she tries to help teach her the responsibilities that she's going to have to learn to become the next chief of the island.
Moana gets into another argument with her father when she suggests that they should go restore the heart of Te Fiti.
And Cena always comforts Moana after she has these little tiffs with her father. And Cena actually helps Moana fulfill her grandmother's dying wish that she does venture out to restore that heart.
I guess you could say that in that moment, she saw her.
Ew!
She wants Moana to take her role in their society, but at the same time, she understands that she has goals and dreams of her own.
She's not very iconic.
But I would want her as my mom. I'd give her a B.
I agree.
Let's review the list. S's, Kala.
Eudora.
A's, Bambi's mom.
Sarah Hawkins.
Dutchess.
Robbie.
B's, Purdy.
Mrs. Jumbo.
John Cena. C's, Mary Darling. D's, that mom from Frozen. F's, Lady Tremaine. Gothel, the evil queen. Let us know what mothers you agree with and what mothers you disagree with.
If we might have missed any Disney moms that you would have put on the list.
Who's your favorite Disney mom? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to SaraNate and click that bell button.
Mama!
So you never miss a new episode.
That's all the time we've got for today, guys. We'll see you next time.